Back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Friday, March 1st. We are already 2 months down on this 2024. Year's already flying by. Happy, I guess, leap day to you guys. We're recording on Thursday night, the 29th. We only get this every few years. So gonna take advantage of it, give you guys some picks for the weekend. Not the craziest slate, but good to catch up. We got Sean back, who was out last week. Good to have you back, bud. And then of course we've got Max. He's in the studio that we recorded in yesterday or last week. So fellas, welcome back. We got a lot to catch up on. How's everyone doing?
Good, man. Busy week, but ready for the weekend and always ready to talk shop with y'all.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back. Apologies for missing last week, but yeah, a little slow transition period in the sports world right now. See, I know you've been paying attention to college basketball for us, so I appreciate you are in advance spreading that knowledge. Little things, a little golf, baseball, kind of getting around the corner here, some hockey. So, man, it's Friday, so it's enough to be happy.
Right. Yeah, so let's do golf real quick. Let's hop back in. I'm trying to pull up um the picks for us, but let's just go around the horn. The picks that we posted a little late, but picks that we posted, how they're looking, and I will try and pull that up while we go. I know I'll just go for myself just to start with the outright, and then I'll let you guys go. Eric Cole.
Oh,
Definitely
duh.
going to be an outright winner. So
I believe he's DFL right
among
now, dead fucking last.
yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I'm kind of glad I got it out late because no one would have tailed me and no one would be worried
Yeah,
about.
but it's an outright. You're just taking a flyer on that. Your other ones look pretty good. Just at least to start.
Yep, take that. Yeah, I got what top 20 Minwoo Lee and then top 30 Mr. Shane Lowry. So I'll take those. Those look pretty.
They're both at what 400 right now, or like
Sounds about.
2016 or something.
I think that's right. Yep, something like that. And then what did you guys end up picking? I'm trying to pull this damn shit up, but
Oh yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. I mean, my outright Sung Jae Im isn't doing so great. He's T95. Uh Hyonan is, I think, what was he? He's like top
Mhm.
16. Yeah, tied for
Yeah, he
16.
did. He
Yeah.
was got off to a good roll today. He might have bogeyed his way in, but
He's looking good. And then Tom Kim sitting right at 30. So
mhm.
T30 and T20 are looking decent. Sung Jae, maybe he kind of pulls out a little 65 on the final round. Miracles can happen. We'll see. He's got to make that final round first.
Right.
I hear you. My guys that are a tough, rougher Friday. Essentially, all my outright top 20 and 30. That's Tom Hoagie outright, Steven Yeager, the German, Maverick McNeely, the Stanford Cardinal. All of them are just one under right now. So that pretty much puts them right at half of the field at 71st. But we're 25% into this. I'm not worried at all. Frankly, almost outside of Jaeger, all those guys had the bad side of the draw today. The afternoon was much tougher. The scores were actually almost like an entire, I think, stroke better for the morning session. So hopefully they'll get, they'll get after tomorrow, and it's a long event here. I do have a couple. Well, I mean, we can discuss that more, but I have a couple breaking the mold. We gotta have some content here. I don't usually love taking live bets right after the first round because it could literally flip tomorrow. But there are a few that I kind of enjoyed seeing.
No, start us off. Yeah.
All right, so the freshman Matthew Pavon, who won at Torrey Pines earlier this year, he's the beneficiary of that. If you finish top 10 in the DP world, or essentially the PGA Tour of Europe or the rest of the world, you get an automatic bid into the PGA. So he's worked his way in. He's a rookie this season, but not a rookie by age. He's probably, I think, in his 30s, but comes out shooting hot, on the PGA Tour like he's insert some nice Frenchman, playing in the NBA. I'll leave that up to you. I won't say Victor Wembanyama, but maybe like Nick Batum.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Thinking about that.
So yeah, so
Who?
he's had nothing but like top 20 finishes in the few events that he's played here. He's sitting right near Sam's boys at 4 under, and he's so that already technically puts him within the top 20 at this instance. But he's plus 130 right now. He's done nothing but show us that he should continue if he's never played this course before, and if he's shooting that well, on his first time seeing it, I expect that to continue on. So I like Matthew Pavon at plus 130, top 20.
Beautiful.
I honestly, Max's play, Tom Kim, another guy who I'm sure as you guys noticed this field, there's like 10 guys, your Rorys, your Cam Youngs, your Russell Henleys, your Chris Kirk, and Matthew Fitzpatrick, Shane Lowry, of course, I'll add to that as well, who have kind of more of a veteran. But other than that, it's a pretty, I won't say weak field, but like, a lot of newer players or a lot of players that, don't get to go into kind of the big dick events here. So I like the fact that Tom Kim already nestled his way up there. He'll likely stay kind of hover up near the top where everyone else falls back. He's plus 125 as well to finish top 20 when he's, again, just needs to kind of stay there, right, where keep on the path that he's on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the one that I like the most these events are great for him. He's not going to do well at like a big elevated event where you get all the top players in the world, but he shines in where it's usually like, say, like official world rankings, like 50 to 150 type of events. CT Pan, I think the Taiwanese killer, just finished third last week, so he's in form right now. Shot a blazing 5 under inside the top 10. The bettors don't think he's going to stay up there. You can get plus 150 for just top 20. I mean, that's just a math play right there. I like CT Pan. I mean, if you want to play CT Pan top 20 and top 10, all power to you.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. And my one last flyer, kind of a good story too. So it's nice to know you're betting like behind a good guy. Kind of had, I think it was like a car accident or something, derailed his career for a couple years. He's 33 now, but it's kind of come all the way back up. Bud Cauley also shot 5 under this year. And he was a guy that made the cut in his only event that he's played so far, the Waste Management. So the fact that he's already nestled himself at the top there seems to be he's playing pretty good golf. Those numbers are astronomical. Like for a guy that's already in the top 10, he's plus 210 to stay top 20. And it's for a good reason. Yeah, he'll probably see himself out, but it might be worth a sprinkle.
Yeah, and I think we'd be remiss to not mention maybe a dude that you were very high on last week who happened to, I know you didn't have him as your winner. I think you had him as your T20 ended up winning, and I'm looking at him at the plus 210 range.
Jake Knapp. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No. How you feeling? What do you think so far?
Yeah, dude. He's. I mean, there's usually sometimes like after a big win, he probably didn't have his normal week. You're partying, stuff like that. But just look at the guy. He looks like he knows how to have 12 beers and then show up to his 8 a.m. tee time the next day. I don't hate that at all. I thought that was very impressive for him to come out and play well on Thursday. And I imagine it was a little bit like just getting the feet wet again. So maybe tomorrow he goes out and shoots even better.
Yep. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily could be the case. I like that. Do want to just mention that I have now successfully picked, and this wasn't one I posted because it wouldn't have mattered by the time I posted it, but back-to-back weekends of picking first round leader on day one on the Thursday, and back-to-back weekends where I've had number T2 one to multiple strokes off. I think Champ ended up being 2 off because I think Van Rooyen had like 8 under with the but still T2, and then Cam Young, which Sean texted in the group. He said, dude, you keep going back to Cam Young. And I do, because of days like today, because he is capable of getting to this close and then just collapsing in the last couple of days. So just want to say that maybe third time's the charm. And maybe next week we'll be able to lock in that first round leader. I don't know. It's hard as shit. So I don't know. I'm lucky to even be like when it becomes like 2 o'clock and I'm still sweating that bet, that's always good. Usually you're done.
Impressive.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm glad you stay on Cam Young. I'd like for him to. This is a guy just 2 years ago, kind of or 3 years ago, Ryder Cup probably was within the top 20 of the official golf world rankings. No injury or anything like that. Just started not playing well. We've all been there. So good, and good on him for not being above playing in this event. Like, let me just go out, play as many golf tournaments as I can, get the reps in, and maybe pick off a win.
Shit, there's money. Just being like, hey, I could make some money here.
Absolutely.
And that used to be the Honda Classic, right?
Yes. So this for a long time was called the Honda Classic. If it's kind of like, where did this come out of? So this course they played there for about probably the last 10 to 15 years, but unfortunately a different sponsor, as sometimes that can just kind of take it out of whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look. If you were Sean, if you're just picking like not even from a betting perspective, if you're just saying like, so looking at Rory being kind of the leader right now at plus 650, do you think there's a good chance he's able to make that happen, or is there anyone?
Dude, I honestly, I would stay away.
Yeah, that's good
Like
advice.
from not even a betting perspective, because of course he's going to carry the cachet of being Rory. So that inherently is kind of a tough bet because the name recognition will make it you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
It's not truly off his gameplay. It's just well, he's Rory McIlroy. I hope proves me wrong. I think it'll be a little too random for him to outplay. I think someone will just kind of go low here. If the course was tougher, Sam, then yeah, I'd love Rory's chances. But the fact that every day someone has the opportunity to go shoot a 64 or something, then I think I'd rather go the field than Rory. But you asked me to kind of pick a few guys here. Andrew Novak has played really well this year. And so that's someone I look at who I would expect to be probably within that top five on the mini leaderboard on Sunday that we're looking at right there. But I don't even think 3 under or 2 under is too far back at this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even like a Sepp Straka, who's won this event before, he shot a 68 today. He could go out and shoot, 65, 64 and jolt himself right up to maybe, 1 or 2 off the lead, come end of Friday.
I would be stoked because my intentional outright winner was Eric Cole. That's not going well. I accidentally placed an outright winner in Sepp Straka because I wanted to do a first round leader with him as well. Turns out I did an outright. Yeah. So still have one guy left.
Yeah. It was, I mean, Chris Kirk won the opening of the season in Hawaii, won this event last year. He's, went out and shot himself 4 under T16 right now in a perfect place.
Yep. And then a guy that I was high on last week, I think I used my T30, Austin Eckroat. And Sean, you got me onto him last year when he was a rookie. And then I heard it one tournament he was playing, he was like mic'd up or whatever. And he has the kind of like McConaughey kind of just like, man, I don't know if there's anything that could rock this guy's boat. And I'm like, all right, sweet, maybe start following him a little bit more. He's playing pretty well after today too. So yeah, I might have to throw a little sprinkle on that guy as things are coming up. But Max, anything you got? Anything that you're looking at on the golf side?
No, I think you guys pretty much knocked it out of the park. I know Kevin Yu, who Sean had, I think maybe in the waste management or something.
In the waste management, yep.
Yeah, he's doing good. So
isn't it tough when you see Eric Van Rooyen up here? You just see the names that you placed at other tournaments. You're like, why'd you just come? A couple weeks too late.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially those two guys. The two times because I trailed you, I think, on both. And it was just like, damn. But definitely, obviously not your fault. But
yeah, so this is a good one. And then this starts off a pretty good run here where we have the the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So that'll be a field like Genesis. So that'll be a pretty good one. That's where the Kitty Cat won last year.
Yep.
And we have the Players after. The Fall Spar goes over St. Patrick's Day. That gets a pretty. It's the field is fine, but like it's always a good event that I
I
like.
like it. Yeah.
Texas won. Then the little Texas swing. They go to Houston and then San Antonio and then the Masters. So
That's coming up.
Awesome.
What weekend is that? Is that the first? Is that April?
Like late April, right?
Is
it's
that?
it is April 11th through 14th.
Oh, so opening day on your boy's birthday.
Yeah.
Get a little practice round. Hey, yo, you know what that means? For Big Dogs 3-0, that means your 3-0 could potentially be Masters Thursday opening day. It'd be a real shame if we started planning around that.
Start saving up for that.
We'll take that offline and
I was
discuss.
just gonna say we'll circle back and take this offline, as the business gurus say. Okay. Okay, I like that. I am excited about that. That's good. Okay, first day. I mean, geez. I have to hit a first round leader on my birthday, right?
You two, you're going. There are ones like you can do top 5 and top 10, but like I love your dedication to like you will, Sam, you will hit one this year.
I will. And you know it'd be awesome. And Max, you
You're
remember
right around it.
you and I were on the same boat in the Masters where Matsuyama won. We both had free bets and we just were like, yeah, $20 free bet. Yeah, let's just do Matsuyama. So Masters always has a nice gambling memory in my heart. And of course, it's always near our birthdays. So that's always fun.
The sight sounds, it's the best. It's the best. It'll be here before you know it.
Hey, we'll get down there for your dirty 30. So that's game plan. Let's see. Any other golf? I'm looking at my notes. I think that's all I have.
I hope that Rory keeps himself in contention, and plays well tomorrow. I'm worried that he kicks himself right out of the tournament like he's been doing the first few times.
Yeah, big day tomorrow. And like Sean said, probably not betting any, just like Friday only bets when it comes to the golf. Just too much. It's almost worse to do that on. I feel like it's worse to bet on Friday than it is to bet on Thursday if you're just doing like a single day thing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
more likely to overcompensate for.
Yeah, so like Thursday or Friday, of course, a day closer to the end of the tournament there, but now you're not catching that big. Like if CT Pan stays even with the field, no way you're getting plus 150 at that point.
Yep.
But also, if you have the chance that he doesn't shoot over par or something tomorrow, so it's, just don't go crazy. I wouldn't now bet more money today than I would have before the tournament.
Yeah.
And then of course Sunday morning, you realize
that on Sunday morning.
Good. Then you go, then you get live and get a dog in the race.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sunday morning's always like
it was nice last week because knowing that all right, I got the Jake Knapp winnings, I'll just go ahead and take him outright too. So that was fun, kind of.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. So I was able to double up there.
What'd you get him at when you got him?
So luckily, I waited, and remember he had a 5-shot lead, and after 3 holes, he double bogeyed, or I should say, he had 2 bogeys, and I forget the finish. This guy's name. The guy was in second, birdied, and it was essentially like tied or up 1. So I got minus 105. I mean, it was nervy. Like it did not look like it was going to go well, but I figured he would.
That's good. I mean, yeah. It's always crazy. I forget who it was. Someone fucked me last year, and it was like Sunday, like back 9. They were like going in the back 9, and they were up like 2 strokes, and they were still like minus like 120. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. And then they ended up blowing it like 2 holes later, and I was just like, all right, sweet. We're never doing this again. And I'm pretty sure I got Patrick Reed in I forget what.
Hey, we Patrick Reed, those like top 30s in majors last year. He was like 3 out of 4 or something.
Bro knows how to play in the majors. I mean, he doesn't get much PGA experience anymore. Not
anymore.
I dig it. Okay. All right. Well, enough golf. We've got other sports. I'm trying to think of which is coming up the most recent. I guess I don't really want to get into college hoops right away. I got way too much college hoops. So uh let's do a little EPL. I don't know if anyone has EPL. I might just maybe we'll do a mini segment of just whatever random shit people have. So I'll fire off some EPL. I saw Aston Villa. They're playing Luton Town on Saturday at 12:30. They're minus 135 on the money line. Feel pretty confident in that. I think that's not too juicy. That's within our minus 140 anytime touchdown parlay. So I feel like that's worth giving out.
I like how that's the bellwether.
Right. So like minus 135 Villa, just money line. Don't overthink it. We don't know the lineups yet, right? So that's obviously one thing. Villa's been down. Luton Town is one of the newer teams. I think it's at Luton Town. So Villa's not as good away from Villa Park. So I think that's why they're minus 135. But when they're up 1-0 in the first 8 minutes, you're going to be like, damn, I should have just gotten that minus 135. It's going to be like minus 2,000 after they score one. And then I had a question for someone here on a game. So I wanted to see what your thoughts were. Max, we've got Brentford Chelsea on Saturday as well, 10 a.m. Plus 215 money line for Brentford, 290 for a tie, and plus 115 for Chelsea. How are we feeling on the Bees right now, Max? Is this worth maybe a double chance or something? And I'll pull that up. But how are we feeling on the Bees in their form right now?
Not great. Um, we did have Wizza and Onyeka gone on international break, which they came back last game or two. So I feel like that chemistry's not 100% there yet. Just defense looked terrible. I had that double chance draw or Brentford or I guess this past Monday. Against West Ham. They just looked like absolute shit. Decided to actually kind of start playing when it was 4-1, so a little too late. But I don't know. It's just didn't look right. I'm sure Tommy Frank's the fucking man. I love that manager. Nothing on, well, some's on him obviously, but I think he kind of gets them right. But still, Chelsea's playing a hell of a lot better than we are. They're looking pretty damn well. In the Carabao Cup, they lost 1-0 against Liverpool, but still within Premier League, they look very solid. So I really don't like our chances. I'd rather just do an Ivan Toney goal at plus 120 for being realistic, because I could see like a 2-1 Chelsea. But never know. Brentford always ceases to fucking surprise me, and they pull some shit out, and it would be against a team like Chelsea. But recently, very upset. I mean, we're fighting relegation, even though we're still 5 points away. But we're right there with Everton, Luton, Sheffield, and Burnley. So it's tough stuff, but we'll see.
I think there are.
Maybe over goals too, and then like Ivan Toney to score. It's probably 1.5. I think it's going to be either Chelsea beats us like 3-0 or like 2-1.
So I got I was looking at a parlay and isn't I guess helpful to you, but same game parlay of under 3.5 goals. And then Chelsea to win or tie double chance. That parlay is plus 120. That was why I was asking, because I was like, all right, what's the Brentford? I feel like that's really safe and really solid, actually. Like, because you guys could tie like a 1-1. I don't think you guys tie 2-2.
I don't think it'll be like last game. I don't think it's gonna be like 4-2.
I don't see Chelsea scoring 2. I don't see Chelsea scoring more than 2, and I don't see you guys scoring maybe more than 1 or 2. Like I see a 2-1, 1-1, probably Chelsea is
2-1 Chelsea, yeah, that's what I was saying, or 3-0, which would still work for you.
2-0 also. I could see a 1-0 or 2-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like under 3.5 Chelsea or tie double chance plus 120. That's pretty cash.
Yeah. We don't look great and not very excited. But probably going to Gus's for that game. So
Hell yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right, nice. Well, yeah, because Arsenal doesn't play till what, Monday, Sean?
Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday, yeah.
Okay, shit. What time's that? 10? Ooh, I'll meet you over there.
Yeah, me, Logan, and Pat. We'll talk offline.
Oh, because he's Chelsea. He's Chelsea.
Pat's Chelsea, Logan's Palace. So
Oh, yeah, yep, 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 yep.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Maybe you get the Chelsea kind of hangover from the FA Cup final too, or excuse me, the Caribou Coffee Cup.
Yeah, yeah. A little Mickey Mouse as I was
Yeah.
before the game, but yeah. So yeah, it very well could be too. Yeah, that and just we somehow pull a little rabbit out of the hat. But yeah, it'll be a good game, I think. Hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. That's why. So that's
Volleyball.
why I kind of liked. I was leaning more Chelsea, but the double chance was like solid, and I feel a little better about that. But I could definitely see a tie. So I don't want to. I'm definitely not doing Chelsea outright. But
Right, not doing like Brentford tie because Chelsea tie's better.
yeah, Brentford tie or win is minus 145. So it's like honestly at that point it's like starting to get into a little too juicy, and then you're just like, all right, well if I'm doing that, I might as well just do Chelsea and tie, and then just tease the under up. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Other EPL one, last one for me, Liverpool Nottingham. And this one's another kind of similar parlay, same game. It's Liverpool to win and over 2.5 goals because Liverpool's minus 190 on the money line. So little too much in our juice department, but to get Liverpool to win and then over the 2.5, that was like plus, oh, sorry, minus 110 now. It was plus 100 when I did it, but minus 110. So I guess probably get that while you can. Also, over 3.5 goals is probably not a bad look either. I could see like 3-1 or like
Yeah, I
Liverpool.
was gonna say I think Nottingham probably gets one, but
Yeah, I mean they got two on Villa the other day.
yeah,
You got both teams to score.
they got two on us. I think it was like 3-2 when we played them last too.
Yeah, so
Score.
They got some spunk.
They did.
Nottingham, yeah, they got some spunk. They score
Arsenal
just
game.
like oh shit, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, I just got a random message that Alexander Madison's getting released by the Vikings. Um, just to give everyone a little NFL.
Nice.
I like it. Any other EPL? Sorry, that was my only picks, but
Yeah.
Anything for
Arsenal
the Gunners?
has yet to lose a Premier League game since the flip of the calendar here.
look at you,
Though
Mr. Big Dick.
it's been a lot of fun. Mikel's has the boys playing pretty well here. I mean, there's not a lot of plays on this here. It's also not till Monday at 3 p.m. But I'll give one that I think has a better chance than what the odds are. If we're looking at anytime goal scorer, it's been a big emphasis for Arsenal this year on kind of the set pieces, or particularly in the corners. They have the most goals of any Premier League team out of either set pieces or corners, and their giant Brazilian defenseman Gabriel has been a huge part of that. He actually already has I think 3 goals over the last maybe 7 games or so, well above kind of his average, and he'll be kind of spotty like that. I mean, the only chance he get are off of corners, but they should dominate the possession against Sheffield. They should, be on the attack. They should probably have, somewhere in the ballpark of 8 to 15, kind of, maybe 8 to 12 corners in that game. So Gabriel, or actually like how it's put essentially in here, it's his full name.
I was just thinking of that.
Gabriel, how do we say Magalhaes, Gabriel Magalhaes, anytime goal scores plus 350. I don't hate that.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
kind of because you got Saka and Trussard at like minus 120, minus 105, and then you've got like 10 dudes all for
Yeah, like
Arsenal that are all
Saka probably will score, but I don't, no need to mess with that minus 120. And, it's kind of just like the Holland thing. Like, it probably will happen, but do you really want to do that?
yeah.
Right.
Colby hit me. I was watching the Arsenal Newcastle game, and he hit me with the Saka anytime.
Yep. I took this. Yeah, I took the soccer money as well last week.
Yep.
I always take soccer money, but for this, here I'll
Okay.
Yeah,
I dig it.
I
I
said
dig it.
Saka and
Oh,
Havertz.
he has 4 goals already this year for Gabriel.
Okay, I like that. As a former defender who only went past half field when it was a corner or free kick, I can appreciate that. So they were like, "Hey, we don't want you to like kick the ball. Just use your fat ass head and just put it somewhere close enough to the goal. Then we'll let everyone else finish." But I like that. That's a sneaky good one. You don't see a lot of center backs at plus 350. I'll tell you that. That's for a reason.
It is for a reason. Yep. And again, and also some of the reason here is, he's going to have way more opportunities against a team like Sheffield than against Liverpool.
I mean, for example, his counterpart, Mr. Saliba, is plus 750.
Mm-hmm. It's also like Gabriel is a not to like kind of centerpiece like of their corner kicks. Like
Yep.
they will run essentially kind of picks and stuff to get his giant ass head on the ball.
I'll drink to that. I love that. Okay, sweet, sweet. And then we don't have to preview it. We'll talk about it next week. But I did see we've got a little podcast rivalry game in the EPL with next week's matchup. We've got Arsenal Brentford at 12:30 on Saturday. So we'll talk more about that next week.
They do already have a line out.
They do. Minus
Plus,
25.
yeah, minus 425 and plus 900 for Brentford.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Arsenal's got to lose at some point. So if they don't lose this week, I actually don't hate
they went ahead and did that at Porto, but we don't need to get.
Soccer's bullshit sometimes. So like a plus 1,000 soccer bet, and it's not like crazy, like it's not like Papua New Guinea versus like Ghana or some shit. If we're talking like AFCON, I mean that was recently. That's why I said that. That was more recent.
No, that's good. I love it.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't hate Brentford. You can go. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So, yeah. So that's enough footy from us. Well, I'll try and do like a little, if we can get it done, like a Saturday morning thing with just all our picks across, like Sean's picks on Saturday and Sunday, Max's pick. We'll get you. So it's like UFC everything. So but we'll get some footy picks out there as a reminder. But yeah.
Yeah, I do have one more. I don't know if you know it on DK.
Yeah.
They threw a parlay and it was like scores or something. They got Salah, Son, Tony, and Isaac, all to score at plus 1682. And I honestly don't hate that. You got Newcastle versus the Wolves, and then we're versus Chelsea, Son versus Crystal, and Salah's versus Forest. So I don't hate that at all.
Or is this like a special?
Yeah, I clicked on Premier League. I screenshot it, so I don't. Let me go back to DraftKings. It was called Goal Getters.
Oh, nice.
I literally clicked on the Brentford Chelsea game, and then it's in just like the popular section.
Oh, okay. I was like,
You
I'm
can
on.
probably click on any of those guys like that are in that parlay. Click on that game, it'll pop up. But yeah, 1682. I was like, shit. Throw a little sprinkle on it.
Yeah. And if you did the leap day bet and get, you get a little $10 free bet if you bet $10. That was where my Cam Young first round leader went. So it'll probably go to something silly. So I like that. All right, sweet. Okay, Max. I like that. Good call. Good call. All right, so that's footy. What else we got? Max, what do you got on the docket? I know we got some UFC, we've got some NASCAR. Just take us through your brain on this weekend.
Yeah, Vegas 87, I think. Fight, just a normal fight night at the Apex. Nothing too crazy. There's some good guys. Looking more at the main card. You got Muhammad Mokaev, and he's fighting Alex Perez. It's an absolute steep money line, but I really like Gazev over Rosenstrike. Strike has had 3 losses out of his last 4, or even 5. And he not facing the best guys. Granted, guys have his debut was his last fight, but he beat the absolute fucking shit out of this dude. Like it could have been stopped way earlier. It was like round 2, maybe towards the end of round 2, but absolutely beat the fuck out of this guy. He's a monster. I think he gets it done very easily, and that is a minus 101 parlay right now. So nothing too crazy, but it is right at that even Stevens. If you wanted to have a little fun, Umar Nurmagomedov is minus 1,200. I guess that's not really like fun, but that gets you to that plus 115. So it gets you plus money if you just want to throw in that fucking cheddar, absolute rock chalk guy. Umar's fucking super nasty. Mokev's super nasty. Guys have super nasty. I know it's chalky, but I think
Dude,
it's the way.
we love a plus money chalk. I don't care if you're throwing $5 on it, $150 million on it, plus 115. Doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah,
As long as it's not like a 9-leg parlay, then that's a little like
true.
if you're doing like
Yeah.
9 college basketball money lines that are all like minus 9,000, and it's like, oh well, this
And
guy
they're all in conference. Some of them are away. You're like, yeah, there's no.
most are away probably.
Yeah.
Here's like 3 of them are gonna lose if I just parlayed or did a round robin of like 2 of them to win. Then
Yeah.
you better off. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Plus
I
150.
like both of those a lot. Yeah. It'll be it's a fight night. It'll be solid. Um, that's all I had for UFC. I don't know if you saw anything, Sam, that poked out to you.
No, the only thing I wrote down was just like Rosenstrike drives me nuts. He's like a more boring Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay. So then I just want Derek Lewis. I don't need any money.
Hester, would you relax? Yeah. So it will be good. I'll obviously be tuning in, but just few NASCAR. At these past 2 races, first 2 races, I guess.
Been good, really
Dude,
good.
yeah. And it's crazy. Like these last fucking 20 laps is just mayhem, and all the top guys just get wiped out. And you have dudes like Daniel Suarez who comes in, sneaks in a dub last week. But he's a guy that a lot of fans. He's kind of that fun guy. Apparently, a lot of fans are coming into him and starting to like him, and he's been rolling too. So I like him at a top 10. He's plus 170. Kind of, I can see that same ordeal happening. These fights have been getting fights. These races have been getting so close. And just
It's not Richmond, is it?
now this one, Vegas. Richmond is, I think, the week of the Masters. I think it's that
Okay.
Sunday.
I've seen a bunch of. They must be doing a real like pumping a bunch of money into the advertising.
Or I guess whenever
I've seen like
Easter.
commercials. I've seen it pop up like on my Surface and stuff. So I was
Yeah,
just figured that it was pretty close.
yeah, it's Easter Sunday is what it is.
Okay.
I think it's
Interesting. Yeah.
15.
I would like to go to that one time.
No, I want
I
to
feel
go.
like bad that I haven't.
It's a night race this year too, so it's gonna be on
Short track.
Yeah.
I've been in Martinsville.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would-
I think it was Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s last ever win.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
hype.
Everyone
The only time I've been to RIR was for an Indy race, so I got to see Danica Patrick though.
Ooh. What's Blaney top 10?
Blaney top 10. He is. Oh, I could see it from here. Minus 250. So he's a little.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like you have like the Kyle Larson who's favorited. I think he won last year. He's minus 500 for a top 10. And then like Kyle Busch minus 275. So definitely some chalky. But I think Suarez, just like those top guys, like Denny's been wiped out the last 2 fights. Or geez, I keep saying fights. The last 2 races and just completely fucked me. But I like that a lot. Then we can narrow down. Kyle Busch is a guy. He has been itching these past 2 as well. Last week got super close. I mean, they had that 3-way right at the finish line. Him at top 5 is plus 120. I think he might even get it done. I don't have that in front of me right now. But and then yeah, that's that one. And then I got Bubba Wallace, also top 10, minus 125, kind of that same thing. He's always like in that top 12. And then if something happens, he can kind of see that ahead of time and then get through. And then all of a sudden he finishes like top 5. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for this week after these past two. But I don't hate like like Ryan Blaney. He's been solid. He got unlucky in Daytona. He just fucking I don't even know what happened. He just all of a sudden dropped and car malfunctions. Blaney top 5 is plus 130. You could even Kyle Larson at minus 165 for top 5 is insane. Like that's fucking wild. Vegas has to be his race, his course.
So remind me again, what was like your overall
Sorry.
number one pick? You had a top
One that I really like.
Top 3 or whatever.
I'd probably favorite is going to be Kyle Busch top 5 at plus 120.
Okay.
My more fun.
I looked it up. I would have thought he's only 38. I don't know why I thought he was so much older. Because I feel like he was still like kind of crushing it when we were pretty young.
Yeah. No, he was always been a piece of shit.
Yeah. He stirs it up.
He's the biggest. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't like it. But
no, but he's been going since he was like 18 or something, right? Like, I mean, it's just his game, right?
Super young. Yeah, Kyle Busch would probably be my top 5 solidified. And Bubba, I like
pretty good.
Top 10. Yeah, I think that's still where it's at right now.
Martin Truex Jr. He's gotten pretty old too.
He has, dude. I used to play NASCAR Heat 3, and when I was in I guess
he's 43.
Xfinity. He was in the Xfinity with me. I was fucking battling with him. But yeah, dude, the first 2 have been some good ones. Daytona kind of ended in a little slump, but last week was fucking awesome. And I think Vegas will be rowdy and will be a good time. Hester's ripping ass right now.
Nice, dude.
Gosh,
Where's Monkey Boys?
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I can probably keep talking, but I don't know too much. I'll learn more as we go, and sooner or later I'll be knocking it.
No, I like it. Hey, we're all for new markets, man. We are we've been heavy on football, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
What?
I said, Sean, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying like, we'll go anywhere and everywhere.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Take us next.
Okay, next. I guess here's how I'd like to do the college hoops thing because I feel like I've been watching way too much and I could sit here and just talk and then like I could do like a Rothstein 30-minute podcast where I just talk solo and just run through shit. But I would like to maybe open this opportunity for questions and maybe things. It could be I've got a couple picks for Friday, but a lot of good games Saturday. So maybe if there's games you guys want to ask questions or teams or something, I feel like maybe a little bit more informal forum on the college hoops because I could sit and rattle all the picks I like, but
I got like a little Q&A here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, Sam, of the top, 16 teams, give me 4 that you feel the most confident about, whether it's runs through their conference tournament, of course, runs in the overall March Madness tournament.
Yep.
Like who should I I can see the rankings, of course, but like who should I who's a pretender and who's an actual contender?
I like that. Okay, I'm trying to let it load real quick, see who exactly.
So I'm essentially thinking like within the top 4 seeds.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, let me just see what I'm thinking. I'd say like for starters, I think it's kind of funny because I've gone off this and I think more people are kind of catching on. You'll see kind of a lot of some of the handicappers will look at some of the stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up to help answer my question. But a lot of it has to do with like so one thing is like a Ken Palm ranking. So it's like you got to be top 30 in defense, top 40 in offense. And though I mean, yeah, that's basic. But so here's what I'll start with. Here's what I'll start with. I don't think UConn is one of my four teams. They are rolling. They last year.
Hard to repeat.
How many? I mean, since our lifetime, since we've been alive, I'm the oldest here, so not even 30 years at this point. So 29 years,
but almost.
I am almost, but 29 years of March Madness technically. And how many teams have repeated during that time? I'm pretty sure it's just one. I think it's just one, and I think it's the Florida Gators. I think it's like 06.
Yeah, the 07, 08 Florida Gators, I think.
Yeah, or 07.
Maybe even earlier.
Yep, it's either 06, 07 or 07, 08. I know 07 is the year that they won. So we're just talking like repeat, kind of looking at that. Don't know how I feel. I'll even pull up Joe Lenardi's bracket top.
The 06 and 07 Florida.
Okay, so 06.
Even like UConn was what was that 12 and 14?
You talking with like Shabazz and Kemba?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I don't necessarily like UConn. I do like Purdue a lot. Reason being you got a big motherfucker in Zach Edey. You have the loss to a 16 seed last year with the heartbreak. We've also got some good guard play that's been developing. Braden Smith being kind of the spearhead. They've also got a couple other good guards, young guys. It could be the year that Purdue and Matt Painter finally break through. So I'll go with Purdue as one of the teams.
We're comfortable them getting past the first round.
Yeah, I think so. I'll be honest, looking at Lenardi's bracketology, I don't love their 8-9 matchup, but you know how that
Hey,
goes.
let's worry about the 16 before we worry about an 8-9.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't think Purdue's got issues there. I think
What just to puzzle there, to tickle me. What is the 8-9 that you're worried about?
Boise State, Florida Atlantic. And that's what Lenardi's got in his Florida Atlantic.
It seems mean to put Florida Atlantic back into an 8 seed again.
Against a team who just lost to a 16 seed and is just trying to make a goddamn run. And maybe that's what Lenardi's thinking. He's just like, yeah, they're gonna just motherfuck Purdue. Which is crazy because Purdue, I'm pretty sure based on this Lenardi bracket, Purdue is actually number one. Actually, Houston, Dallas might be his 1 seed. But anyways, second team going with Houston. Yeah, it's chalk. We're going 1-1. Love Houston's defense. I was on Baylor on Saturday, and Houston proved me wrong. Baylor really didn't have any business being in that game. The fact that it went to overtime, if you watch the game, it was just really the last couple minutes. Baylor made a run, started coming back. I think overall, Houston answered every call. Jamal Shed, fucking stud. They've got big men.
He's been there forever.
Yep, they're super efficient on offense because you'd think with their low scoring that they're not scoring a lot. Their defense is so efficient, but they slow the ball down. Houston pace of play is very slow. So they're very efficient on offense, even though they might only average like 72 a game. They only allow like 57 or 58 a game. So it doesn't really matter how much you're scoring as long as you're scoring 60 plus. So give me Houston as another team. Let me maybe try and get away from some of the chalk here. I won't on this third team. I'll give you a chalk on the fourth team. I love Tennessee Volunteers. I love them. Dalton Connect. He is so what you need, and everyone.
I might put a little future on UT.
Yep, and you guys know this because you watched enough March Madness. You can't name me a team that has won the title that has not had a guy like Dalton Connect. Like you have Shabazz, you have Kemba Walker, you have
for those who not me of course, but like who didn't know much about this guy. What is it that he's doing?
Just a dude who's able to get a bucket whenever
Okay.
he wants and damn pleases. You like what's tough about March Madness is you get into these kind of like half of the game becomes a pace of play. It's like, all right, are we going to play to a UVA Houston or are we going to play to a Kentucky Alabama? Like, are we going to run it? And so when you see these teams like a Houston and like the teams that usually like UConn last year, very defensive oriented, even though they are defensively oriented, they have a guy that off the dribble can just go get a bucket, a playmaker who's like, hey, we're tied with 30 seconds left. They're stripping us. It's 59-59. No one's really scoring this game. Just go get a playmaking bucket. Dalton Connect. You got Ziegler. You got Vescovi. You got Josiah James. Josiah James. So Tennessee, very good defensively. You saw in the game against Auburn, they're able to turn it on. Dalton Connect with 39 points. He scored 21 points in the
Jesus,
last.
he averages 20.
Yep, he scored 21 points in the last 13 minutes of the Tennessee game. Almost, I think he
Oh,
tied.
at the Auburn game.
Yep. So you think he tied Auburn in his points. He's a guy who just get a bucket. You do need that in the March Madness because times do get stagnant when you are in a clash of, styles of basketball. You get a lot of these games where 5 minutes goes by, no one scored a point because no one can hit. You need a guy who can go get one. And Dalton Connect is that guy. So I'll give them my number 3. And for number 4, let me get a little out there. There's one team I particularly like. I think everyone likes them, so I'm not going to name them. That name is Kentucky. I saw like 20% of the NCAA outright winning March Madness winner like handle is on Kentucky. 20% of the
Really?
bets are on Kentucky right now. And so I love Kentucky. I've been watching a ton of basketball. I fell in love with Kentucky this year. Will not be my team. And if you want to be honest, this little Lenardi bracketology 5-12 matchup has Kentucky playing Richmond. Richmond covers 70% of their games. Richmond could beat Kentucky in a weird random game. So as we hop around the bracket, we will
You know who does have a future on Kentucky is my sister.
smart. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think a lot of I saw the stat that 20% of the handle was on Kentucky. I was like, oh fuck. God damn it.
She knows nothing about or follows nothing about college basketball, but for like stocking stuffers, I was near like the little MGM and where you get the actual printed tickets. So I got everyone in my family a silly little future, and that's
That
what
was your ticket?
Yep.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. I like that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought it was a little bit better than a scratch off lottery.
I'd say it is. And if
Yeah. And for anyone, feel free to steal that for you and yours on these next holidays.
oh,
They enjoyed it.
Max and I instantly were like, yeah, we're doing that for like next one. Except what we'll probably do is maybe like Christmas parlays. So it'll be
Yeah, like a much
okay,
more
like
instant
that day, like
reaction.
that day. Like, hey, I got you a $25.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's because the Carlins are a little bit more impatient than the Rosencrantzes.
Well, it's more like if it wins, now you got to come up here and we spend all your money.
Yeah. Aaron's like, God damn it, now I have to go to
You got to come cash it.
got to bring the baby and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Her and Patrick would stick out like a sore thumb in the
Well, I did. So Patrick was a big Texas fan, so I got him a future. So that one would have been only a few months, only
Oh, did you do a Texas
couple weeks
football?
later.
You do oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That was actually a good one. Good on you. Nice.
Well, they were already in the Final Four at that time.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. So his like the rest of them, I got pretty fun odds to follow along with, but his
Aaron's
was
like, why is mine plus 25,000?
Yeah,
Plus
exactly.
190. Do you like him more than me?
Yeah. My dad's the Penguins to win the Eastern Conference, and they're still quite a few points out of making the playoffs.
The funniest part is your dad, out of everyone that got one, was probably just like, "What the fuck, Sean? We're not doing it."
Well, we weren't as bad at that point.
That's fair. That's fair. I love it. I love it. Shit. All right, back to
I
my.
got you off. Yeah, yeah. So, all right, to go back over, we're I excuse me, no, we're Purdue. Like we think out of those top teams, it's got to be either a Purdue, a Houston, a
Tennessee.
Tennessee, and then you said not. I guess you said technically not Kentucky, but
Yeah, I'll go with the different blue blood. Still kind of chalky.
Rock
Max,
Chalk?
huh? Yeah, I know, not rock chalk.
what about Iowa State?
They scare me a little bit. I do like Iowa State, but I got to go with one that was very close a couple years ago. Max has met a dude on this team who's the leading rebounder on this team. It's the North Carolina Tar Heels. You got RJ Davis, Baycott, you've got Cormac Ryan. It's just one of those teams that's just excuse me, very well put together for March. Like it's very much a March team. Like I mean, RJ Davis dropped 42 the other night. I think they still lost. I forget what game that was. They lost and he still put up 42. Or no, he put up 42 and they beat Miami, I think is what it was. Which is crazy because they only scored 75 points. He scored 42 of 75. So you got RJ Davis who fills the Dalton Connect, the Shabazz Kemba. You've got Baycott, big man on the boards. You got Cormac Ryan, a shooter. You've got some other guys. Harrison Ingram, transfer from Stanford, who's also a go getter. So yeah, I mean, I went a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 2. But here's what I'll
All
say.
right. No, what about two teams that meet in your model that rise to the top that are outside of these top 16 teams?
Yep. And what I'll preface was with that too is, and I think after you get after the top 16 and even like the top probably two, the top 8 where it's 1 and 2 seeds. Once you get to that 3, 4, 5, 6, it's really just a draw. It's like who has the best draw. So like harder to gauge. Two teams I do like though, kind of in that like 4, 5, 6 maybe. I do like Iowa State. I think sneakily, I think Illinois has been a really solid team. They put up a lot of points. So it might just be one of those things where, like, so for example, I'm looking at Lenardi's thing. Illinois plays Akron first round. I think they can win that. They can beat Clemson or Grand Canyon, and then they play Houston. In that kind of like elite Sweet 16 matchup or Elite 8 matchup. And honestly, if like the thing with Houston is like if you just get a team that's connecting, like it's a lot harder. Like even Baylor wasn't shooting great, but you get a team who's just hitting, and you know how it is when March Madness. There's just teams that hit, and so like I don't hate it. Illinois at the 4 seed right now. They are they're 16, so they're a little on the earlier side of kind of what you're saying. But I like Illinois depending on their matchup. Big Ten's been tough. And then another team I like, and very opposite of Illinois, if I had to say, South Carolina. Grayson would love this. Hopefully he's listening. Defensively, very solid. They have a lot of dudes that can go get buckets, and I just kind of like what they've got going on. They get the right matchup where they get a team that's very fast paced, like in Illinois, and they're able to slow them down. It's almost like UVA, right? It's like UVA is like, hey, if you can get them to play to your pace, no one's, really, it's harder to beat UVA. There's not as many teams that can beat a UVA. But, same thing with South Carolina. Little bit offensively more athletic, I would say. Like playmaking, just, hey, I can dribble and beat dudes off the dribble and go score. But maybe not as defensively as talented as a Houston or UVA, but they're still very good on defense. So South Carolina would be kind of my like 5, 6, 7 range. Yeah, so sorry, that was a lot, but yeah, those would be kind of my 4 teams right now. Oh, well, 6, I guess, if I added those extra 2. And
I like it a lot.
yeah, and I'd keep an eye out on like the first 4 in, last 4 in, kind of those guys. Like, got a lot of teams that it's what I'll say is the reason I say that is because not necessarily a clear-cut one. Like, there's no team that's far and away better than anyone else. There's probably no 3 seed that's much worse than a 2 or a 1. And so those last four in, those like 6-11 matchups, those 5-12s, this is the year where a lot of shit can happen. So if you like a team, just kind of hit it. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So a lot there. Let me just fire off some Friday picks and then let's get into Saturday matchups real quick. And I'll fire to Max real quick. I only have three plays for Friday. I don't even have the numbers out. So that's kind of the other thing. So I'll post some stuff. So I'm not gonna like go into analysis mode on these. I like Yale to cover tomorrow. And I think it's Dartmouth who they're playing. Yeah. I like Nevada to cover versus Fresno State. And then I like Utah State to cover against Air Force. So those are my Friday games. Lines aren't out yet. And then obviously Saturday games got a fuckload, but lines aren't out there yet. But I'm not going to run down the Saturday slate. So let me just start with a question. And then if you guys have questions on Saturday games, then we'll fire that. But Max, West Virginia at home. Complete 180 difference from away against the spread. You got Texas Tech at West Virginia. Is Morgantown rocking, or what's the pulse on Morgantown, West Virginia?
You can get tickets for as low as $3 if you wanted to know.
Okay. Answers my question.
But no, dude, obviously, I mean, I personally have never, when I was there all 4 years, never had this bad of a season. So I guess I can't attest, but I know for a fact that the Coliseum is going to be loud. I mean, it's a conference game. I mean, it's W basketball. That's what that state has. I mean, even if like Pittsburgh's so close, you could be like, well, yeah, but they don't even have a basketball team, and we fucking hate the Panthers. So like, it's all Mountaineer basketball. So yeah, I love being at home. We actually played very well against Kansas State in the Little Apple earlier this week. Took them to overtime and then
Yeah,
just
that
got
was nice.
tired out.
Good
Maybe
team.
just kind of folded in overtime, but took them to overtime. Had a big comeback to force that overtime. But yeah, coming back home, I think with kind of a little chip on our shoulder. A little morale, maybe a little high because we played well. Kansas State's a solid team. Nothing great, but yeah. So I don't hate it. I could see us maybe like a -2.5, 3.5
Okay.
favorites. So that'd probably get us at like -170, I would assume. But I don't
Minus,
hate it.
yeah.
So yeah, I like it.
I mean, shit, dude. It'll probably still be. You said plus 3.5.
No, -3.5. So
You got.
yeah, 2.5. I said I don't know.
I'm interested to see what those lines come out as, because I feel
We
like
did this last time. We were like, yeah, we're not really gonna be favored at home because it's a good team, and then we were like 1.5, 2.5.
that's fair. That's fair. I feel like, yeah, I am interested to see what this one works out as.
I
Um,
don't think we're gonna be.
I think you guys
It might
might.
be even Stevens, but I don't know if we're gonna be. It's not like it's fucking Kansas, Baylor, fucking Iowa State.
Yeah. I mean, dude, so basically what I'm hearing is if it is plus money and you guys are underdogs, then we should be hammering that, is what you're saying. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be closer than you think.
No, yeah, probably. Um,
No, I mean that's a good I agree with you. I think that's good. I'm just saying, I think because Texas Tech, I think is like 23 or something.
yeah,
But I do agree with you that they're just
it changes it. I swear we've already played them this year, but I guess with all the new shit, we don't play everyone twice like we used to.
yeah, yeah.
So that does change some things. But I thought we already played them. But yeah, I still don't care. I think
No,
we can come in and win. It's
I
what
like
we What we do this season, dude, we'll just snag a good win at home. Like
I
UCF coming off a bad loss, and then we went at home versus UCF. So
Yeah, which I'm pissed at myself for not betting that one because that was what you were talking about. Like West Virginia was like 2.5. I think it was 2.5 favorites.
yeah, that's true. I think that was the game we were talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm fairly certain. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the game. So it was one of those where you're like, shit, god damn it. And I knew that. Texas Tech a little better than UCF. So, but what I'm hearing is if we're in a good spot and we're getting plus money or plus points for West Virginia, I think we're taking that at home. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yes, I like that. I like that. Sean, any games you're interested in on Saturday?
Not really. Just interested in hearing, I guess, your guys' take.
Okay.
I've enjoyed. I usually play TCU. I play TCU in Kentucky on most Saturdays, so I'll probably take each of them.
Yeah,
I think
TC is
TCU is
playing.
in like a mirror matchup against BYU. They have like the exact same.
Yep, I do like
That'll
that.
be a good ass game.
Yep, agreed. Agreed. I like that one. Kentucky, that
Kentucky
can
will probably be pretty heavy favorites against Arkansas, but
over, just over, dude.
yeah.
Arkansas and Kentucky are both like two of the top like 10 highest overs. I already lost all my fucking notes. Yeah, it's just I just wrote Kentucky, Arkansas over.
I can see NC State being kind of a pain to UNC.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of those where I gotta see the line. Um, because I could see it being like a 6.5, and if it's like 6.5, I'm hammering NC. Um, but yeah, it's one of those where it's like, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an over game. That's all I do know. That's all I know. So I don't hate that.
I do have tickets to Wednesday night, the ACC tournament, so I'll be interested to see. Hopefully, either Tech or Pitt is playing in one of those two games.
Great, great. I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of Pitt, somewhere in my notes,
Dude, they blew it. They blew it that second half against Clemson. I mean, that game was there for the taking.
it is they will, dude.
Clemson seems to be like a pretty good team, though.
I think they're playing so they're playing BC on Saturday. I think whatever the line is, I think they cover it.
Yeah.
That was actually one that I wanted to mention. Kentucky,
Okay.
Arkansas was one, and then
And it's must win tech, like, and must show out too, because they're right in that fringe.
yep, agreed. And then would be remiss not to name one of the best covering college basketball teams in the country right now, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. They're
Oh, I
playing.
was gonna say Texas A&M stinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Texas A&M Corpus Christi is one of the best covering teams in the country. They're like 76%, I think,
Wow,
cover.
okay.
They're playing Southeast Louisiana on Saturday. I would say I don't care what it is until said otherwise. I'm taking them to cover.
Like Drake, not 2 years ago, not last year,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. No, legit. It is. It's very similar.
Yeah, that Drake team.
Yep, that Drake team was nice. And then the last one I have is it's kind of like a salt in the wound, but like Detroit Mercy is the worst team in college basketball. They've won one game this year, but I'm gonna take Oakland University out of Michigan to cover against Detroit Mercy. And it could be 16.5, could be 22.5, and I don't really care. There's not much from a
Wait, Sam, do you know there are actually a couple teams that have a higher covering percentage than Texas A&M Corpus Christi?
Minnesota would be one.
Minnesota's one.
Yep, Minnesota's like 24-4.
Yeah, Richmond is 27-1,
Yep.
74%.
Yep.
And then South Florida, then Texas A&M CC.
Good. I'm glad you brought up South Florida because South Florida against Charlotte on Saturday. That is a 4 o'clock game. South Florida, also a good cover team.
yeah, they're good.
Yep. So I like that.
VCU Richmond, dude. VCU at the Robins Center is this weekend.
Yes, I'm thinking about going. I'm trying to go. And speaking of VCU,
I might be able to. We'll see.
Yep. VCU, 62% cover rate. University of Richmond, 74% cover rate. So very good cover teams, of course.
Under? If we could. I wish we could. That under is probably beautiful.
Don't you? We know a guy, so we'll talk offline. Oh, another thing.
Oh,
So
what the fuck? You guys are kicking the shit out of us in women's basketball right now. Don't stop that, Notre Dame.
I
Trying to be a number one
did
seed
see
again.
that was tonight.
What the fuck? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, what's Sam?
Oh yeah.
Call the dogs off on Notre Dame.
I do like that Tech women's team is good.
Yo, they
I'm
are super
watching
good.
on Sunday, the college game day.
Yeah, did you
Just
see
watching
that,
that.
man?
Dude, I was
The school really gets behind that team.
your
Yeah.
boy your boy was a practice squad player on the women's team when Kenny
Yeah.
Brooks was a coach at JMU. When
How
I
about
was
the Aussie Georgia Moore? She is awesome.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Brooks is the man, dude. He was awesome. When I was at
Yeah,
JMU,
he seems so cool.
he was cool. He got mad at me once, but like that somewhat warranted. But yeah,
Probably.
I was just doing some dumb shit. But yeah, no, shout out the Hokie basketball women's team. They're nice, man.
There's still plenty of time left. They can come back.
Yep, Kitley's solid. So I like that. Let's see. Another game we forgot to mention real quick in the earlier slate because we kind of skipped over Marquette Creighton. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Probably going to be an over game. Gauge the over. It's probably going to be like 158.5, and it's probably going to be right around there. Sean, you always use this when you did this in college football. Like you have these two teams that maybe are high scoring, but when they play each other, they tend to,
They each kind of collectively bring the tempo down.
Yep. So I kind of like the Marquette Creighton. I would just gauge the number, is what I'll say. I'd say under 160, probably good to go in on the over. If it's that like I'd say 157.5.
It's like a stop loss, like on a stock. Like
Yeah,
we see price under 157, over 157, like a number 157 or over, we buy that up. We buy the under.
Yep. I'd agree with that. I don't have a side on that. If I had to lean one way, I'd go Marquette. Creighton's just been very inconsistent recently, but it is at Creighton. I like Shaka. I like Cam Jones, Kolek, all those guys. Other games, Tennessee, Bama. I could probably give you guys 10 more games, but I won't. I'll just give you this one and then call it a day. Tennessee, Bama. It's like a 3 versus 14 or 12 or whatever matchup. I fucking love Tennessee, as I said. Just go with it. Bama, high scoring. So Tennessee, Bama over. It's gonna be 170 over. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Why would I play an over? It's gonna be an over. Could be an overtime game. Definitely will be an over game. Bama doesn't play defense. Kentucky doesn't play defense. They just don't. If you look at Kentucky and Bama's last 5 games, each of them have given up 90 plus and like 3 of 5 and like 80 or more in every single game. So just don't really see that game going under. And then if I have to pick a side, give me Dalton Connect getting 30 points in, the last 25 minutes of play and give me Tennessee. So I'm done with college basketball. I've talked a lot. Someone else talk, please.
No, I mean, yeah, sounds about right. I guess are you gonna go Gamecocks over Gators?
Yep. Gamecocks over Gators. Good call. Yep. I like Gamecocks over Gators. I'd be interested to see the Purdue Michigan State line. I like the over there, no matter what it is.
Okay.
Don't know if you're on the line. And then I'll give you one more. And then that's it. That's actually it. San Francisco plays Santa Clara, 7:00. It's a West Coast conference game. San Fran might be and should beat Gonzaga tonight. And Santa Clara also rolling. West Coast Conference, sneaky good this year. Not to say they will get more than 3. They shouldn't get more than 3, maybe 4, maybe. San Fran, St. Mary, Santa Clara, and Gonzaga, so maybe 4. But yeah, San Fran, Santa Clara, I like. They both have 62% cover rates, so both like to cover. Just check that out. If there is a big line between one of the two, I'd probably just take Santa Clara at home. But yeah, just more like, oh shit, what's going on? Oh, Santa Clara, San Francisco. Sam told me about that. No one's gonna watch it. That not one person will watch it but me. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to watch games that no one else wants to watch.
We thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Yep. So
true here.
true. That I mean, yeah, that's my service there. That's all I got for college hoops. Anything else you people have on weekend bets? Anything going on?
No, nothing else. To
Oh, yeah, I
Sweet.
think we nailed it.
We did now. We did. We talked a bunch. Got a lot of picks out there. I'm gonna try and like consolidate everything into one, and then we'll maybe we'll post on like Friday night or Saturday morning, like we do with golf, but just Max's weekend picks, Sean's weekend picks, my weekend picks. We'll knock that out. And otherwise, let's have ourselves a good little weekend. Let's stay, cognizant of the, surroundings around us, right? What is it? Aware of the surroundings. What is the definition of cognizant?
I was gonna say, are you meaning to do like
Yeah, isn't it the
here with
definition?
Cognizant? Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah,
do.
no, that is. I think it would be like a synonymous like aware.
Okay, let's be aware of all our
Be
surroundings.
cognizant.
Yeah, be cognizant. Don't gamble what you don't have, and parlays go a long way, as they say in the. But I love it. I love it, fellas. Thanks for listening to my rambles. It's great to get y'all's picks. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed listening. Let's have ourselves a good little weekend and happy leap day. Happy 29th.
Yeah. Happy
Oh, yeah.
Birthday to someone out there who's only 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah,
Without their, what, 24, 28.
bro, that'd be sick. You just get to celebrate. I hate birthdays, so if I only had to celebrate my birthday once every 4 years, I'd be stoked.
That's an interesting take.
Fair enough.
It is an interesting take, and that's why it's at the very end of this podcast. I love it. We'll do a little Tony reality. Get out of here, people. Everyone, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.